Welcome, welcome, Britball. We're here again, Friday night, Live to Humbled, with me, myself, Victor, whose name doesn't seem to be on the stream, but we're good, man. Welcome, Gremlins, as well. Right, this week, same old story, same format. We're opening up the floor to anyone who would like to call in, drop in, and basically give us a bit of their insight of what should be hyped and what should be humbled. As you can see, running. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. There we go. Victor's there. Right. Yeah, so if you would like to drop into the show, the QR code is there on the screen, and YouTube will have a link to jump into the stream, and we can talk anything you wish about the wonderful world of Britball. Apologies, I need to swat up on my intake of what happened over the last week or so. I am a self-confessed Olympian, for those that don't know, and I'm somewhat licking my wounds at hearing the news and then witnessing, what happened to them. Unlucky to the Mavs, who came a cropper against the Wembley Stallions. Anyone who was there, part of that game, feel free to call in and let me know what happened. I haven't actually done my homework yet and seen the stream, but I think it was 14-12 or 14-11. And both two teams I've got links with, so close game, and good luck to the Stallions who go on to play the Gulag game to see if they could get themselves up and up into the Prem against, I think it's the Hertfordshire Cats. Right. Again, it's on you guys to jump in and assist me. Yeah, just looking at the emotional 27-24 game. And my boys suffered. Obviously, Stallions did their bit, 48-19 against Thrashers, and went on and took that momentum on to beat the Mavs in the Steamboat. Again, I knew that one was going to be a close one. I thought the Mavericks would edge it, to be fair. No bias, that's purely my opinion, based on the strength of the leagues. But it looks like, obviously, the Stallions' scoring ability and momentum they took into that game was enough to topple what I thought was a superior team. But yeah, man, we look forward to the first of the Gulag series and see if they could climb their way into the Prem. Again, I'm very biased to the south, so anyone from the north that wants to jump in and impart some wisdom, please go ahead. Go ahead. All right. Hello, Krista. Thank you for your comment on YouTube. Much love. It is a consistency thing here. Again, this show was my personal brainchild along with the Sport Type team. And yeah, we wanted to give people an opportunity to up the ante, so to speak, and say their bit on what they feel is really going to happen in and around the British American football scene. I know last week we had the Elite 5 special, and I'm sure they shared some lovely nuggets about that. That's coming, highly anticipated version of the British game where people take themselves on 5-on-5, fully kitted, experiencing the full-on brutality of this beautiful game. And that will be something that hopefully will be more to talk about on these shows as the action kicks off. I think later on next month. Don't hold me to that. Apologies. My research is on the go. Right, so 2,000 cash prize at stake. £2,000 cash prize at stake for the Elite 5. So yeah, if you're interested or heard anything about that, don't drag your heels, get involved, because I'm seeing a lot of bits and bobs going out on social media to hype that up and build that up. And it is always good to see new versions and new iterations of the game coming out for people to show their stuff. Because again, this country has a lot of athletes. It does have a lot of athletes that, again, will take a great form like that and that exposure to the next level. Righty. The door, as I say, is open for drop-ins. to jump in, be my guest. Everyone is welcome as long as we keep it somewhat sensible and respectful to our myriad of viewers. Shout out Peter. He's saying what you're saying in your language. Much love from YouTube. And again, yeah, the chat, I can see the chat. The chat is not being broadcast here. I think you can possibly see it on your individual platforms. So you're welcome to comment on the chat. And as I say, the QR code is there for the drop in and in the bio on YouTube. Right. So let's have a look at this Elite 5. All right, tickets are on sale now, which is excellent. And again, nothing's free. So good to have sports that are sustainable, where people are willing to put their money where their mouth is and support the entertainment, support the exposure of, again, what is a platform for a lot of people who, you know, may not have the facilities to push their talent maybe in Europe or elsewhere, and want to get to that stage where, you know, they can earn money from putting their bodies on the line, getting in the gym, working, building a playbook, building chemistry with fellow athletes. So yeah, nice to see that. We get a lot of names on the Elite Five's Instagram page. And again, I recognize quite a few names. That's really, really good to see. Obviously the teams. We got teams such as the Hellhounds. Love what they're doing on Instagram. They got the Royals. They got the Storm. Love that one. The Hive, the Phantoms, the Outlaws, the Reapers, and the Vipers. Okay. All competing for that $2,000. Okay, the rules 5 versus 5, nowhere to hide, eat or get exposed. Love that. 18 plus eligible. All linemen are eligible wide receivers. Everyone's a threat, even the center. 50-minute halves. Every possession matters. 4 downs to halfway, 4 downs to score. Just like on flag football. QBs can't cross the line of scrimmage unless handed the ball. No scrambles. Win with your arm. Excellent. No special teams. O versus D all day. So again, everyone who's played the sport or watches the sport, it's going to be non-stop action, action, action in the air, obviously, and on the ground. You've tossed the ball and able to scramble. All right, play clock's running, guys. 15-minute play clock today for our first caller. After that, I will bid you farewell until next week, and we will go again. Consistency is key. Shout out Kristen on YouTube with the greetings from Indonesia. Supporting the stream. Much love, much love. All right, what else we got? Let's jump on the sport time. Okay. All right, nice little ALB on the Sport Tank Instagram page about monthly or quarterly updates on real measurable outputs from Buffer, or stick with the current updates from the AGM. To be fair, I haven't paid to be a member of Buffer for the last, I want to say 6 years, maybe 7. So again, not the greatest place to comment, but you would think monthly and quarterly updates, given the way those that play and those that have an interest in the sport financially would want to know, obviously, where the money's going, what's happening. That should probably be, you know, fairer rather than just annual general meeting updates, which is just once a year. That's not, I don't think that's fair on your stakeholders. And those that pay to be part of your organization, you need to know kind of what's going on and what your money is going to support. And again, it encourages and it builds more faith and trust. All right, what else we got on this lovely page? Flick through the results. Those that don't follow the Instagram, it's sporttank.gridiron on Instagram. Alright, yeah, things following low confidence in the grass is known as CCT's European football. Economic fairness sustainable. So it looks like the European Football Alliance are having some issues about transparency, economic fairness, and sustainable development as members of the ELF. And I guess that feeds into what we're expecting from BAFA on updates and understanding, obviously, where things are going and how sustainable things are. I think BAFA are riding the coattails of the enthusiasm of those getting involved. Obviously, the feeding from uni, the feeding from grassroots, and the teams that have a setup that feeds in from youth upwards. Again, senior ball needs enthusiastic bodies as well as, the athletes that they'll grab and go out to grab to feed into running a league. So yeah, transparency is key. Economic fairness, maybe not as much of an issue here in the UK because again, we pay to keep it going. If you want to play for a team, you need to pay your subs, you need to pay your dues to help support it. And those that obviously run the team need to find a way to make their team sustainable and be able to put on a show safely and in a way to keep their team players and fans coming back and those stakeholders that want to sponsor, etc., etc., etc. Oh, another ALB on the Sport Tank page. Introduce overtime to regular season games or continue to let regular season games potentially end in a draw. My personal take on that would probably be overtime and regular season games. It's like penalty shootouts in football. It's one of those things where you more time would love to be able to roll the dice and grab that victory after a hard fought draw. Um, as I use football as a comparison, there's much more games. So obviously the leagues there is no penalty shootouts in the leagues, but obviously in cups and in the bigger tournaments they're introducing them a bit quicker now. So yeah, overtime and that tiebreaker situation needs to be something that could potentially smooth things out, and it may help with the gulag structuring as well. Obviously, draws aren't as prevalent in the league, but knowing that you're going in there to come out with a win or a loss is a good shout and somewhat exciting, especially in some of these games that have happened this season. I know in Division I followed O's Div 1 South. There was, I think there was a 0-0 game. That would have been a crazy little shootout to the first score. And again, it would have made it somewhat of a tense affair with the stalemate for so long to have someone come out and grab and steal that victory. And yeah, I think there was another draw. But yeah, overtime, I'm a fan of overtime and getting it done. Let's have a look. What else we got here in the A and B's? Play clock's running out, guys. Again, give you the 15. Might stretch to 20 for a call in. After that, I'll write it out. Again, if you're too shy to call in, you're welcome to throw some questions in the chat or comments in the chat, which I can look at. Right, ALB, remove the mercy rule, run the clock, keep the mercy rule, but increase the trigger to 49 points. Yeah, I think with the Gulag stuff now and the points differential being that much more important when you're working out the highs and lows in each league, I think 49 points is fair. It gives teams a chance to work towards, significant scorelines to be that differential in their league position. Uh, I see my colleague, Mr. Micah, has commented, get rid of the mercy rule, it's ruined the sport, and those third and fourth string never get decent game time to improve. That's a shout. Definitely it's good for the depth chart to have time to build and be able to, go through the motions out there on the field if you do get on, if you're deep down the depth chart, and get yourself some points, man. Get yourself some stats. I'm not one for just running up the score for running up the score's sake, but any good team will use the ability to, hammer a game home to work through what it is your team can do at the deeper depth in the depth chart. Right. Let's have a look. Any more GCA upbeats in there? Again, Sport Anchor also looking for vloggers, bloggers, people that want to get involved in Britball media in general around the sport. Now the NFL's kicking off, we want to profile as much as we can. With that, I started off on the platform writing pieces for the website. I did stuff on Colin Kaepernick. What else? The whole taking the over. I think I did a couple of pieces on that. And it's just nice for people to, find an outlet if they've got creative writing skills, intellectual or technical knowledge about the sport, to share it and impart their wisdom and enthusiasm on the rest of those that seek it out. So yeah. Right, another ALB, 12-minute quarters to align with international European rules, or 15-minute quarters to align with normal North American rules. Oof. Brexit means Brexit, mate. We should do what we want. I'd be tempted to align more with the Europeans than the Americans because, again, the natural feeding would be to a European league for any team that does to get a little elite status over here. They will be playing against European teams. So, obviously, doing what the Europeans are doing is probably a much better of a natural step. Obviously, if you're at the NFL Academy, on the other hand, and you want to be playing the 15 minutes in line with your aspired league that you want to head to, again, that's a different kettle of fish. And again, I'm assuming they'll be conditioned to meet that demand. Obviously, I think any team needs to be prepared for both. Be able to prepare and condition yourselves to the best that you can be. So yeah, I'd lean towards the 12-minute quarters, but there is an argument for the 15s as and when that is relevant. Right. What else have we got on the Sport Tank media platform? All right, let's see. Oh gosh. Excellent. Right. Love that one. Nice close to home one. The AOB is grass over any other hybrid or synthetic surface. Well, the ideal would be doing what these wonderful Premier League teams and elite facilities are doing in this country and doing an elite hybrid version of a grass field. So I was fortunate enough to visit Notts County Football Stadium, and they have got a Premiership standard pitch, even though they're not in the Premier League at the moment, but they've installed a Premiership standard pitch with all the mod cons, and it looks exactly like grass. I wasn't fortunate enough to go on it or play on it, but it looked like immaculate grass carpet. The guy that was giving us the tour said, obviously, it takes a few months for the grass aspect of it to grow through and thicken up for them to then trim down. But essentially, it's a hybrid combination with grass, synthetic, and yeah, it's what all the top Premier League teams are using. That would obviously be irrigated, undersoil heated, and all the rest of that wonderful stuff. But yeah, I don't know. A good grass pitch you cannot beat. And again, for injuries and stuff, I would say grass is a bit more lenient on the body, and the big major injuries that happen on synthetic more often avoidable because the grass will cut up and chop up if a foot gets stuck in it, so to speak. So yeah, over hybrid or synthetic, again, if they're same caliber and the same state, premium grass, I'd go over premium hybrid or synthetic, I would say. But yeah, I do like the prospect of knowing that you're going to a team that has a synthetic field that may have been subject to a rain shower the night before. You know you're going to get there and it's going to be somewhat playable. The synthetic stuff, again, they literally can just sweep the water off if it does bog down and it's not well irrigated or is oversaturated. They can literally sweep it off. Grass, less so, because again, it will be damaging the grass to play on a heavy sort of pitch. So there are arguments both sides, but I'm a old school baller, so grass all the way. Right, I'll do one more A or B, and if nobody jumps in, I will bid you all farewell. Again, this platform is always going to be here every week in some shape or form. We will host and give you the chance to drop in. Again, no skin off my actual nose. I'm happy to be here and waffle for you to top in if you want to top in. But yeah, we will keep this going. It's one of those things where there are people out there that would love, I guess, to have, their say on something. And then again, up till now, we've had some good guests coming. Unfortunately, one wasn't secured for this week, but again, we are still here. And we will always be here for you to say your piece. Right. Oh, that's an interesting one. Players can only have their actual name on their jersey. Players are alternatively allowed to have their nickname on their jersey. That's a lovely one. All right. So in this day and age of media profile, imaging, all the rest of this stuff, I'm guessing there'll be certain players out there who would love to have their app on Instagram on the back of their jersey and all the rest of that wonderful stuff. This is how much a sport. If I'm paying for my jersey and I'm putting a name on the back, I would hopefully want to have the name that I want to have on there on the back. Again, I'm a traditionalist. I'd probably put my surname on there, but part of me would be tempted to get a shirt made with my social Instagram handle on there for my you know, personal archive. But yeah, now nicknames, again, it's for on an administrative level, as long as the referees and those that need to know it have it down on the paper. Put whatever you want on the back of your jersey as long as it's not offensive to anyone. Yeah, you're paying for it. We pay to play the sport. Let's enjoy and represent how you want to represent. All right, let's have a look. What I'll do one more. One more A or B. I'm gonna run out. All right. Level 1 coaches officiating games works well. Level 1 coaches officiating games does not work well. Well, I've never had to play a game where level 1 coach is officiated. So, but I can understand how there will be grabs if games do suffer from the lack of experience of the officials. So I would say where we can have fully qualified and experienced refs, but I know that there's definitely a shortfall at the moment. So again, a lot of players will be like, you know what? We need to just get these games played and work with what we can work with. I think the refs need to get onto inspiring the next crop coming through. I was actually tempted to do it myself, but never really got over the line and registering and ended up registering as a soccer ref. Pardon my use of the S word. But yeah, I'm a soccer ref for the FA in Kent and London. And yeah, they've incentivized that by reducing the cost of the course, offering lots of free CPD. And yeah, they need to kind of grab the bull by the horns in educating players, ex-players, on the benefits of getting involved and helping the game to grow on the officiating side as well. So yeah, let's hope we can do something along the lines of not making it an issue having level 1 coaches officiating games. But we're talking about a lot of games. We're talking about university, all the grassroots stuff. You've probably got all the flag that needs officials as well. So yeah, if the demand is there, it needs to be kind of managed. Really, they all know the amount of games they've got on hand, and they'll know the amount of officials they've got on hand, and they'll know they probably would have canvassed for the amount of officials that wish to stay on the carrot in their role in the near future, and probably will need to project to how many they want to start trying to bring in. So yeah, Zebras, get in contact. Start recruiting some more officials of the future and getting the game to a safe place where there shouldn't be a worry of any level 1 coaches, or they might even end up dropping it to do a referee's entry course, which might even make more sense. Level 1 plus a top up. But again, it's all about time, money, supply and demand, all the rest of that wonderful stuff. in the world that we live. All right, so 25 minutes in, guys. It's been emotional. Thank you for those that tune in and even watch this wonderful tidbit of a short and sweet hype on Humbled. And again, the season's coming to a close. So there's only the big playoff-esque relegation and the Gulag games left, so to speak. So only the Gulag games left before, again, we all anticipate the NFL proper kicking off and all the draft gang and the enthusiasts getting into it. So we've got Warriors versus Coventry Phoenix, Titans versus Bristol Aztecs. I'm gonna shout it for what it is. It's probably gonna end up being a Warriors Titans final. And I'll give a shout to the Warriors getting it done this year. In terms of the Div 1s, we got Stallions against the Cheetahs. Again, I'll give that to. Do you know what? I hope the Stallions do it. Make use of that gulag and fight their way all the way to the unbeaten season in true Mr. Smart fashion. Again, I was fortunate to play under the Warriors, well, Stallions head coach, and experience the joys of an unbeaten season. And again, that's memories for life. And again, looks like Stallions are on the brink of doing that. So good luck to the Stallions in that final game, the Prem South Gulag game. Let's have a look. I'm not sure where's the North Gulag game. Will be a wonderful one between. Okay, both found this. They're both promoted anyway. Fair days. And it looks like it's already been played 17th. Right. We've got comment teams. Can learn a lot from Cornwall Monarchs and Plymouth Vanguard, who I regularly work with. They share a lot of recruitment, and Vanguard put 2-page spread in programs about Bafra and recruitment. All right. Love to hear it. Love to see it. Yeah, they need to get to the games. They need to get recruiting at games. They need to get recruiting at the. I'm seeing down face. They need to get recruiting at the international series games because that's where you're gonna get those people enthusiastic enough to spend their money, take their time in pursuit of the sport. Again, if they incentivize people getting on a program, getting in a cohort and a good group of like-minded, passionate individuals together in a room and say, look, in 3 to 6 months, depending on how committed you are, we can get you out there officiating senior bowl games, maybe give them a bit of kit and, a little bit of a sponsorship kind of vibe to fast track that process to incentivize their time. You never know, man. It might just become a nice snowball effect of rejuvenating the crop of officials. No, I won't lie. I'll be interested if there was some sort of incentive to get involved and to make it worth your time. But again, everyone chooses what they want to put their time to. But once you incentivize it, then it becomes a decision to make whether or not to invest in something that's going to give you back something and obviously feed your passions as well. So thank you, Nathan Coates, for that comment. And carry on doing what you're doing, the Cornwall Monarchs and the Plymouth Vanguard. Keep sharing information. Again, I would just type Bafra into Google if I wanted to find out who and where they are. But it's nice to know that you're giving out the direct links and information to the people that want to know and need to know about how to get involved. So yeah, man, all good, all good, all good. Right, wait, we've crossed the half an hour mark of my wonderful waffleation. We're still here. Shout out Nathan. Yeah, so we're looking at Stallions, Cheetahs, for the premiere Gulag special. Is that gonna be broadcast? Interesting. Let's have a look. Not bad. Should know this. Oh, okay, so they did the live stream. Aztecs Warriors. Oh, no, that's the old game. All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna call it. Thank you very much for those wonderful people that have heard me waffle on and taking the time to invest in Hyped and Humbled, Hyped or Humbled. And yeah, it's not a hype. We will be here with our humble selves, consistently giving you a platform to say your bit. And again, it's as good as you make it. It's as good as we can get guests in, and it's as good as we can just stay sticking at it and doing a bit, providing this platform for Britball. Right, shout out, appreciate you all, love, love.